Right. Hello, YouTube. This is Lion with Hobbies of a Man. Once again, today we're going to be having a manga haul, second manga haul on the channel, and let's just jump into it. This is for March, and the first things I'm going to show you are stuff that was supposed to get here February, but took a long time in the mail. So let's get started with that. Okay, so I got March 1st, I think. I got The Dungeon of the Black Company, Volumes 1, 2, and 3. And this is what they look like in the side. It's by 7 Seas. And it's about this guy, right there in the middle, Kinji, I think, who gets transported to another world basically as soon as he was finally able to achieve his dream of being a NEET, or like, I think it's called, or I think it stands for not employed, educated, or in training, or something like that. And basically, he gets isekai to this new world where he's forced to become a miner for this ore called Demonite. And because he doesn't want to work for a company that exploits its workers, and basically he's super lazy, he uses his intelligence, which he's has quite a lot of, in order to come up with a bunch of random schemes to try to save himself some work and pay off debts that he incurred and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty fun. There's no fan service. There's no there's nothing really that weird. I mean, there's a dragon lolly and a cross-dresser, but that's pretty normal for manga. There's nothing fan servicey except in the second volume, I guess, but that's when like an adult woman was introduced, so it might be palatable to people that are not usually into it. But this is basically just about this guy trying out crazy schemes to get out of working, essentially. So it's relatively relatable, but he's kind of not that great of a person, so it might be a rough read for some people. I think it was fun. It was fine. I don't think I'll pick up Volume 4 in any sort of fast way, because it's not really a priority, because I didn't like it that much. So I don't know. Volume 6 comes out in July or June maybe, but I mean, that might be delayed with all the problems that we're having right now. So yeah, that's the first thing I got. Okay, so now let's move into stuff that I did buy in March. And so I got from Facebook Marketplace for 10 bucks. This is quite a steal. It's volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7 of Death Note, which was pretty great. I really liked the fact that I could get it for such a cheap price. It's not in the best condition, but it's manageable for me. I don't need everything to be pristine. I don't mind. And yeah, I think everyone knows what this series is about, but in case you don't, it's about this guy that suddenly gets access to this book that lets him kill anyone as long as he knows their full name. And he is able to wait long enough for the book to activate. And so he starts doing it because there's essentially no consequences if people just start randomly dying. But basically, the government notices, and they hire this other guy to figure out what's going on. And basically, it's this cat and mouse game. And they're both a cat and they're both a mouse. It's pretty interesting. I haven't read it yet, but I've watched half of the anime maybe, and I thought it was really good, so I picked it up. Plus, it's only 13 volumes. So if you want to collect the whole series and don't want to, you know, destroy your pockets, maybe this is maybe this is a good one to start with. There's also other versions of it, so you can get the all-in-one for 25 bucks, I think. So that might be a better option if you only want to buy it once. The next thing I got was at Half Price Books. I got volumes 1 of Shaman Key, which is a pretty interesting series. It's an older Shonen Jump. I think it's late 90s, early 2000s, and I mean, the art style tells it all, right? This is very much a older art style, but it's really fun. I was honestly very surprised by how good I thought this was by the end of the first volume. It's about this guy, the guy in the cover, forgot his name, who is a shaman in training, and he goes to Japan in order to finish his training, which includes, you know, getting a group of powerful ghosts. And then he meets this guy who's like the insert for the audience. We learn everything through him because this guy already knows most of it. And yeah, it's very interesting how he deals with problems using his knowledge of people and ghosts. And yeah, at the end of the volume, there's a really interesting fight that happens and basically sets up the whole premise of the story. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I got that at half price books, and I also got these at the same time that I bought that one. There's a Demon Lord on the Floor, Volume 2 and Volume 3. And this is basically moe / food manga-esque kind of thing. There's some fan servicey bits, but it's mostly just moe, just cute people doing cute things. And the male character is basically done with their crap and is very deadpan, you know. It's really funny. This volume is just kind of more episodic shenanigans. There's kind of like an overarching story, but I'm not really sure yet. It's just kind of like the Demon Lord doing her thing and living life with humans. And then this one is kind of like the holiday special, if you could call it that. It has Halloween, Christmas, it has Valentine's Day. It has this weird like neighborhood appreciation day or something like that. It also has a story about that character and kind of fleshes out her backstory. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. This is very much like I'm feeling down and I need something fun and cute to distract me and have fun with and laugh. And this is basically it. It's really good. I really enjoy it. I'll probably get volumes 4 if I see it at the bookstore, which I went today, and I didn't see it, so maybe not. Okay, the next thing I got was off Amazon. I got Samurai 8, The Tale of Hachimaru. It's by the creator of Naruto. It's about a space samurai, which is essentially kind of like Star Wars, but it's very cyberpunk. It's really interesting. I haven't read all of it, but I did read the first like 2 or 3 chapters on the Shonen Jump app, because if you make an account, even if you don't pay for the account, you can still read the first 3 chapters of every releasing story that they have, so it's pretty good. I read it, I was interested, and then I saw that this Donkabon volume was only just releasing on the 3rd of March, so I bought it that day, and it came in on Thursday. The 5th, I think? Something like that. Anyway, the point is, it's brand new. If you want to get into manga, and if you like stories about samurai, this might be a good one to start with. And since it's just airing in English, it's easier to stay caught up on. And yeah, that's basically it on this one. After that, what did I do? Okay, I went to the used bookstore again, like a week later, because they were having a sale, and I bought 3 volumes and 1 comic book. So I got Dragon Drive Volume 1 by Shonen Jump, which is actually really interesting. It's very much Digimon, Bakugan, or Beyblade-esque. It's about a video game thing where they have dragons, and the main character gets a really wimpy one, but somehow it's very powerful. And there's like more stuff behind the scenes that like adults are controlling that the kids don't know about, and it's pretty interesting. I'll definitely pick up volume 2 if I ever see it, but since it's a really old series, I doubt very much that I'll see it again. But I'll keep an eye out for it because I'm really interested. And yeah, okay, after that I got Owl Your Yoshi, which is it says older teen, but I would say this is a seinen manga. As you can see, it's basically a romantic comedy, maybe harem-esque, by Tokyo Pop. It's kind of old, but I've heard really good things about it. I've seen a couple people online have it. Decided to pick it up because the first volume was there and it was like $4. And yeah, it's that's basically it. I think the main character and the girl were supposed to marry each other when they were kids. Like their parents arranged a marriage for them, but then someone died and then the marriage didn't go through and they split up and they like went their separate ways, and then as adults they met up again. And this is basically like that romance story, and it's really interesting from the synopsis. So I'm really excited to get into it, but I haven't read it yet. Okay, this next one I was pretty excited about is Air Gear Volume 1. This is kind of a sports manga-esque. It's also rated for older teens. It's by Kodansha, but when they were for Del Rey, or when they published under Del Rey. So this is old. I watched the anime when I was like 13 or 14, and I just got it because I remembered that I really liked it. And yeah, it's about basically these gangs of rollerbladers, but the rollerblades they use are basically like miniature cars that they strap to their legs. And yeah, it's a little dark. Like I'm reading part of it right now, as you can see my little tab opener. This dude gets like a firecracker shoved up his ass or something like that. It's very unclear what happened, but it makes it seem like he got well, raped essentially. But yeah, he's like a good guy, really upstanding individual, but part of a gang or something. It's really interesting. I don't really remember what happened in the anime, but I'm excited to read it again. Although it's highly unlikely I find any of the other volumes at the bookstore or, you know, on Facebook Marketplace. So I don't know. I'm just excited to at least have one of them. And yeah, okay, so the next thing I got maybe won't fit. Okay, so this is Executive Assistant Iris. It's by Aspen Comics right there, which is a comic publisher started by Michael Turner in like the 2005-06 era, I think. Michael Turner died of like some sort of cancer, which is really sad because his art style was really good. If you guys ever watched or read Witchblade, like the original one, not the Japanese one, he did the art for that and it was really good. He also did Fathom, but I don't really know if many people are aware of this company, which is a shame because all of the company basically focuses on making comic books about women, basically. They all tend to be rather attractive, or portrayed as rather attractive, but they're all very strong individual women, and I feel like with the tendencies that we are seeing right now, this company would have way more notoriety, but it doesn't, and it's really weird to me. But yeah, this is really good. It's about this woman who is was raised and trained as a executive assistant, which means she's an assassin, a courtesan, and essentially trained in housewife duties and obviously secretary duties. And she's hired / owned by this guy who owns a company, and basically she does errands for him. If he like needs someone to die so that his stuff can go through, she does it. But then something happens and she tries to start redeeming herself because she realizes that she made horrible things, or she did horrible things under this guy's instruction, and she tries to, you know, clear her name, kind of. So it's very Black Widow-esque, or yeah, well, basically it would be like Black Widow, I think there's a manga that's kind of like this too, I think. It's maybe called Die Welder Gelder or something like that. Where Gelder? I don't know. I read a sample for it a couple days ago, but I can't remember the name of it. And since I record on my phone, I can't check. But yeah, there's like a manga that's kind of similar to this. And yeah, this is pretty cool. You guys should check it out. Okay, the next stuff I bought was off Better World Books. It was just 2 volumes, and my experience with them in the past was pretty good. I got 1 book from them before, and it was great. So I was like, well, I'll buy more. But these aren't so good. It's not that they're badly treated. They're pretty well off. The problem is that they're really sticky because I have to take off all the plastic from them. And, well, I should tell you what they are first. Fairy Tail Volume 2. In Volume 3, Fairy Tail is about these wizard people that form a guild, which is essentially... Okay, it's basically a mercenary group, but they're good guys, right? And the main character... The main guild in this world is Fairy Tail because they're like the one the story focuses on. And yeah, a lot of people don't like this because it's equal parts fan service, equal parts all the bad stuff of shonen. Like there's a crazy obsession with friendship and showing off the hot girls that the dude draws, which I understand some people don't like, but I think it's really fun. The anime is really great, even though it's kind of everything I just mentioned, but it's really good at hyping up characters. It has a great OST, and it's just fun, turn off your brain, and just enjoy kind of entertainment, and I really like that. And I like supporting the artist in some way. I guess if I buy books that are used, I'm not really supporting the artist, but I feel like I am, and that's important to me. Which is kind of not great. But the point is, I like Fairy Tail. I wanted to buy the Fairy Tail manga, which is going to take me forever because there's like 63 volumes and like 5 spin-off series. So yeah, I'll probably pick up Eden Zero and I'll buy that one new to actually support the artist. But new manga is very expensive. And if I can buy 4 volumes for the price of 1, I'm not going to do it very often, you know? So yeah, that's Fairy Tail 2 and 3. I already own Fairy Tail 1. Okay, the next stuff I got was from this one dude on Manga Swap, the subreddit. So I got Log Horizon, Volume 1. This is the light novel, which I'm excited to get. It's basically like SAO, so I'm excited to read that. Or, well, I haven't read SAO, but I've watched it. The other thing I want to get, the other thing I got was Assassination Classroom Volume 1. Which I'm excited to read as well. I also got 7 Deadly Sins Volume 1, which I really like the anime for. So I'm excited to buy the manga for it as well. And the other thing I got was The Heroic Legend of Arslan, which is by the... It's originally a fantasy novel. By the manga was made by the guy that made Fullmetal Alchemist. As you can tell, like his art style is very similar. Or, well, it's exactly his art style because it's him. Yeah, I don't really know much about this. I just picked it up because I heard that the artist for it was the guy that made Fullmetal Alchemist, and I was interested. And the story sounded kind of interesting as well, so yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll make a review on it. Okay, this next pile is what I got today, and I bought some of it. But most of it, my friend that I hung out with today before shutting down everything for the quarantine gave me because I told him that I was new to manga and I was trying to figure out what I liked. And he was like, well, I have all these manga that I don't want anymore. Have them. And I was like, great, man. I'll buy you lunch. And yeah, so the first thing I bought of my own volition was the Rising of a Shield Hero light novel. This is a huge book. Okay, well... It's not that big. It's only 300 and something pages, but it's very solid. It's very nice. And all the light novels I read are like the skinny ones. So this is great. Shield Hero is about this shield dude He's like the greatest hero, and his weapon is he's one of the 4 great heroes, and his weapon is a shield. But he gets framed for something, and then he's no longer allowed to be part of the shield thing, but he still is stuck in this world, and he still finds it important to finish his duty. So he gets this girl to help him, and that's that. Okay, the other thing I bought was Inspector Volume 1. I have no clue what this is about at all. I think it has yokai in it, which are Japanese demons. And that's basically it. I just got it because I heard that it was interesting. I liked the art, and I liked the cover. And I needed a 3rd book because Kodansha had 3 for 2 sale at Books A Million, but they were only doing it on like 10 different volumes of manga. Like, they weren't even doing series, it was just volumes. So I was like, okay, I'll get 2 of the ones I want, and I get this 3rd one that I've heard is interesting because I don't want to read any of the other ones, because I was going to get Fire Force, but they only had volumes 2 and 3, and I didn't want to buy an extra one that was not on the sale because I didn't have any money for it. So yeah. Okay, the other 2 I got for the Kodansha sale were Drifting Dragons 1 and 2, and I don't really know much about this either, but I think it's some sort of fantasy interpretation of whale hunting, and a foodie manga, maybe a gourmet manga. I don't know what the right title for that genre is, but yeah, I basically just picked it up because it has dragons. I like dragons. I'm gonna buy stuff that has dragons on it, and yeah, I think Netflix is making an adaptation for it, and I guess it's maybe a problematic topic for some people, but I'm not Asian. I'm not really interested in most Asian things aside from the media I consume, so I don't really find that I care for the topic beyond the fact that it's dragons. It's a fantasy interpretation of something that people care about, like in this case, whale hunting. So I don't have any particularly strong feelings about it, so I wouldn't find any of this problematic. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. And yeah, so all the other stuff I also got today, but my friend gave it to me, like I explained earlier. So this first one is Prophecy. I don't know anything about this, but I guess it's kind of like Watchmen. It's by Vertical. That's basically it for that. Okay, this is a manga. It's called 06. It's kind of one of those femme fatale type of things. It's supposed to be 13 plus, and it's a science fiction, but it doesn't look like it's 13 plus. It looks very much for older audiences, which I'm an adult, so it doesn't bother me, but I don't mind. It's okay, wait, the synopsis says this guy suddenly gets a gift from his dad, who happens to be a stunningly proportioned girl in quotation marks because she's kind of a robot, I think, but she's kind of like a yandere as well. That's basically all I know about it. Next one I got is The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, which I also don't know anything about. The art style kind of looks older, and this is labeled older teen. Okay. So apparently there's this very basic standard loser guy who gets his life turned upside down by this girl, Haruhi Suzumiya, which is great, I guess. That's what every guy wants, right? Oh, okay. Well, the art style's good, even if it's a little older, and that's that. That's all I know. Okay, this other one, Spice and Wolf. This one's a little damaged, but okay, well, actually, most of them are a little damaged, but I got them for free, so I'm not gonna complain. Okay, so anyway, new book, Volume 1 of Spice and Wolf. This is for adults. It's based on a light novel. It's labeled mature. It's about this guy who's a merchant, suddenly finds himself with a goddess who decides that she wants to travel the world, and so she's gonna go with him. And that's basically all I know about this. I think the reason why it's labeled adult is because she's naked for the first half of it, at least from flipping through it. I don't know though, that's kind of it. Okay, next is 5 centimeters apart, which is a thick manga. I think it's an omnibus. It has a movie based on it, or it's based on a movie, something like that. Anyway, it's by Vertical, again. Oh, Vertical. I don't know anything about it. I haven't watched the movie, done anything about it at all. Haven't heard anything about it. And yeah, my friend gave it to me. He's told me that another one of our friends read it because he let him borrow it and he loved it. And that other friend is kind of an entertainment snob-ish. He's kind of like a film guy. And so he has a lot of tendencies to decide if stuff is good or not based on like his knowledge. And so if he liked this, it's probably very good. But I mean, I guess taste factors into that. Okay, this next one is Azumanga Daioh, the manga, which is by ADV Manga. Who is the publisher? I don't know. And yeah, I don't know what this is about. It doesn't have a synopsis at all. I guess it's based on an anime. And it looks to be kind of a 4-koma series. Or very short episodes. Or very short chapters, you see. I'm pretty sure that's 4-koma. Which means there's 4... it's a 1 chapter per strip, basically. Yeah, that's all I know about it. I don't really know anything else. I'm interested in it, I guess. I'm not gonna complain about trying out new stuff. The last thing he gave me was a comic book, which I'm kind of interested in. Like, it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer Omnibus Volume 1, which is the definitive collection of the first Buffy comics series starting here. This volume begins at the beginnings, quotation, the origin, a faithful adaptation of Josh Whedon's original Buffy screenplay. The newly chosen Slayer's road to Sunnydale continues by way of Vegas. And yeah, she basically is doing stuff. I don't really know much about it. I've never really seen the series. I tried it when I was a teenager. I didn't get into it. I feel I would get into it now as an adult, because I can overlook the fact that it's like really old looking, which as a teenager was like annoyed me because I was used to watching like stuff that was very sharp and crisp, and you know, since it's older it doesn't look as good, but whatever. Yeah, apparently this is kind of rare. Someone on Instagram was telling me that they were trying to buy it and they couldn't get any deals on it. But I don't know if they were telling me that this specific volume was rare or that Buffy in general was not easily found. I'm not really sure. This is rather old. He told me he basically kept it in its like packaging sleeve. And I threw it away because it was freaking like old. I'm gonna probably store this in a new one, or read it and decide if I want to keep it or not. And yeah, the art style is pretty good in it, honestly. And there's a bear fighting, which is cool. Might give this a read. I'm sure Buffy is kind of an appealing character since so many people like it or like her. So yeah, I'll try to give it a read. I might not like it. Maybe I'll resell it. Maybe I'll keep it. I don't know. And yeah, that's basically it. There's like a week and a half left in March, but with all this stuff going on with coronavirus and stuff, I don't really know if I'll leave my house for the rest of the time that's left in March. So I'm recording this and uploading it, assuming I don't leave and I don't buy anything on Amazon. Oh wait, actually, where's my iPad? Because I bought a few things online. on Bookwalker. Bookwalker was having St. Patrick's Day sale, because apparently St. Patrick's requires sales now. I don't know. It was weird. There was manga volumes for $1, and I was like, okay, I'll check out 4 manga volumes of stuff that I would not pick up otherwise because it's expensive. And then I'll pick up a light novel. And they also had this like thing where like, if it's your first time buying, you get 50% off or 50% back or something. Anyway, I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna really spend that much, so I'll just buy $14 worth and get half of it off, and it'll only be $6 or $7 for 5 books, and that's a great deal. So that's what I did, and maybe I'll be able to get them. You know what? I'll just mention them. So I got Infinite Dendrogram Volume 1, the light novel. I got Shoujo Fight, which is a girls volleyball manga. Although the art style is a little odd in it, it's good after you get used to it. I also got Grand Blue Dreaming, which is supposed to be a really good, really funny series. Haven't read it yet because, as you can see, I have way more books to read. Okay, I got Again Volume 1 and Farewell, My Dear Kramers. But yeah, anyway, that was it. That's everything I bought this month. This might be the last manga haul for a while. Like 2 months. I mean, I've only done 2, so it's not like a staple of the channel or anything. But yeah, with all the stuff that's going on, I might not buy manga anytime soon. So this is basically what's gonna last me for now. So I guess the channel's gonna switch to mostly reviewing from now on. Maybe I'll actually review regular books as well. I mean, I was going to, but I haven't really read one in months, basically since December. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for staying to the end. Please like and subscribe. Please comment below. Recommend anything you think I should read, anything you really like.